We need to talk about Tyler Perry's new movie Straw on Netflix. Specifically that ending though, guys. I did not see that twist coming. I actually just got done rewatching Straw to pay closer attention to the clues that I missed. And I'm going to talk to you about that today. 5 clues that we missed that we should have predicted the twist at the end. But before we get into things, I realize that you could be on any channel in the world right now, but you're right here with me, and I really do appreciate that. So go ahead and like this video, and also subscribe to my channel if you do like watching TV show reviews and also movie reviews. Also, before we get started, comment down below, free Janiyah. Guys, she needs to go fund me. We need to put some money on her books. I related to Janiyah in so many ways, all right? In fact, I'm Team Janiyah, and I'm also Team Straw. This movie was one of Tyler Perry's better works, and I would rate this a solid 8.5 over 10 stars. The emotional roller coaster that it had me on, and that twist on the end gagged me. It really, really did, okay? Now, the things that I loved about Straw were, number one, Taraji P. Henson's performance. She killed it, man. She brought urgency to every single scene, and I felt like she was just fighting for her life. Like, I felt her, and her performance just resonated with me. It touched me. It was heartbreaking. It was beautiful. She did such an amazing job, okay? Also, I like the dialogue, and what I really appreciate about Tyler Perry, I don't know this for sure, but I get the feeling that he is still in the trenches, y'all. Like, he goes back to the hood quite frequently, and he knows what's going on, okay? Because the way he writes the scripts, okay, or I don't know if they're freestyling certain parts of it, but the way we hear Taraji mentioned 1,000 times,
"Hey, I get paid today."
I know, I get paid today.
It's so realistic in that environment, okay? Like, when you're in that environment, everybody know when you get your check because you owe everybody money, okay? So shout out to Tyler Perry to still, like, staying close to his roots, okay? And the performances by Tiana Taylor and also Sherry Pepper were phenomenal as well. And I love the solidarity amongst Black women and how they had Janiyah's back as well. Like, I think that was one of the clear messages of the movie to me. Like, don't judge people, you know, walk beside them because you never know what someone is going through. Now, a few things in the movie that I think could have used some improvement were the pacing. I felt like the movie felt a little bit too long, especially around that bank scene. I feel like they could have shaved off about 15 minutes of that bank scene, and I feel like some of that time could have been dedicated to us seeing Janiyah's sentencing, because I would have loved to know, like, how much time is she gonna get? Is she gonna plead temporary insanity? Like, does she get to go to her daughter's funeral? Like, what's gonna happen to Janiyah now? Secondly, I did not like how they made Janiyah a murderer. I don't like how Tyler Perry wrote that in the plot, right? That she killed her boss. Like, she killed him in cold blood. I had to watch that part over and over. Like, she really turned a gun on him and offed him. Like, what? Like, for us to be like, I was looking at her as a victim the whole time, and, like, you know, just admiring in that scene how she didn't really want to take the money. She just wanted her check. But for her to turn around and just off her boss, like, that just seemed uncharacteristic of her, okay? But I was still rooting for her after that, but I kind of couldn't get that out of my mind. Like, why did they write that part in? And the last thing that I didn't like about the movie was it wasn't that original. Like, I have to admit, like, I've seen a few movies these past few years, movies like Fractured and Fall, where we witness a similar twist at the end, okay? And speaking of that twist at the end, guys, let's get right into it, okay? I noticed 5 clues upon rewatching this movie, okay, that should have let us know that Janiyah's daughter died and that she was not in the scenes that we thought we saw her in the movie, okay? So let's go over that. So we find out at the end of the movie that Janiyah has been hallucinating for a large portion of the day. A lot of the things that we saw happen as the audience members didn't really happen. She was not with her baby that particular day at all. Any scenes that we saw her daughter in that day were just a figment of her imagination. Like she said, something inside of her broke. She was hallucinating. I don't know what you call that, a psychosis, a severe depression. I don't know. Maybe she was just in the first stage of grief where she was in denial that her daughter actually passed away. But we see in one of the last scenes when she's at the bank, she gets the phone call from her mom. And she's telling her mom, I'm not robbing this bank. I'm just trying to get $40 so I could give it to Aria for her lunch money, right? And so her mom informs her, like, kind of like, you don't remember? Like, she died last night. Your daughter died last night. We actually took her to the hospital, right? And we see it hits Taraji, and, you know, a flood of emotions overcome her, right? So now let's just go over like the 5 clues that we should have seen that her baby wasn't there the whole movie. Like, she was just hallucinating that part, okay? So one of the first clues we get that Jania's daughter Aria isn't actually with her is the uneaten dinner on the table, okay? So again, we find out that the daughter died the night before, okay? So we see in one of the ending scenes as well, a flashback of Taraji walking out of that hospital the night before with her daughter, except we see an empty blanket this time. Remember, at the beginning of this movie, we saw her walking out the hospital with her actual daughter. We see the daughter, right? But once we find out the twist at the end, she's walking out of the hospital actually with an empty blanket, okay? And I know it was some confusion about that. A lot of people was like, well, did the baby die at birth? Like, what happened? No, the baby did not die at birth. She died the night before, okay? So we see her walking out with an empty blanket, okay? So my thoughts on this is she apparently went home. She prepared dinner for both of them as if nothing happened. Like, she just bringing her daughter home from hospital, because we see 2 bowls of oodles and noodles on the table, right? One bowl of noodles is pretty much gone, and the other bowl is barely touched, along with a glass of juice too, right? That hasn't been touched, right? So that's the first clue we get that Jania might have been hallucinating that her daughter is still alive, all right? The second clue we see is the next morning after Jania gives her daughter a bath, right? We see them rushing off to school, right? And Sinbad is asking Jania for money, which it seems like he always does, right? And shout out to Sinbad. Very good to see him again too. So the little girl says something cute to Sinbad. She says,
Where are your teeth? Get in the car.
but if you notice, Sinbad did not respond to the little girl at all, which is pretty odd because old people, they love cracking jokes with little kids, okay? So that is the second clue that I saw. And the third clue, which was a very important one, is when Jania actually got to the school to drop off Aria, right? You see her opening up the car door. She's saying bye, waving hi to her baby, but then you see this mysterious look on the principal's face. The principal is giving her an odd look and an odd wave, and it's like, what's going on? Why is the principal looking at her like that, right? But now we find out that Aria really wasn't walking into the school. Like, Jania was right there saying bye to nobody. Like, oh my God, but why didn't the principal say anything right then? Like, why didn't she say, like, are you okay, sis? Like, you know, what's going on? Like, right there, you didn't see that something was going on. I don't know. That's another story, right? But that's another clue that I noticed, that the principal was given a very odd look. Now, the fourth clue that I noticed was the whole CPS altercation at the school, okay? So we know that Jania, she gets a phone call, which actually was in real life from like a bill collector, right? But she is hallucinating. Mind you, her baby died. She is out of her mind. Like, her brain is doing something just to cope with this, okay? So she imagines that she gets a call from her daughter's school saying that they noticed that her daughter has bruises all over her back, and that, you know, CPS is there and they want to talk to her, okay? And they mention again that the daughter didn't have the $40 for lunch as well, okay? So then the next scene, we see Taraji. She's at the school and she's arguing with the CPS worker. Don't take my baby. My baby is in good hands. Like, my baby just fell in the bath. She's fine, you know? But that whole scene, if you notice, the principal did not say a word. The principal does not interject. The principal is just standing there silent. She's not saying a word, the principal, okay? So that should have been another clue for us that something was odd. And even at the end of this CPS altercation scene, we see that when Taraji turns, nobody is there. Like, all of a sudden, where did the principal go? Where did everybody go? Like, she's literally all alone in the hallway, all right? Now, another clue that we should have noticed, this is the fifth one, right? We should have noticed, like, so we see, the audience sees that the daughter is taken away by CPS, right? But why is Jania still hunting for this $40 to bring back to the school for her baby? Like, if your baby is gone, CPS took your baby, why are you still insisting that you need to get to your daughter's school to get the $40? Your daughter isn't at the school anymore. She's with CPS. So I think that was a clue as well. Like, I just thought initially when I was watching it, like, oh, she just tripping. Like, she just operating on, you know, autopilot, right? She's devastated. She can't imagine that they took her baby, but really, she was really operating on autopilot, but not just because she's thinking that CPS took her baby, but because the baby actually died the night before. Okay, so that was a big clue right there. And I know that's 5 clues, but I just thought about like another one that I noticed too, like when Tiana Taylor, which was the most beautiful cop, by the way, she was so gorgeous in this movie. And so when Tiana Taylor's character, Detective Raymond, and her male counterpart, when they go to Jania's home to try to get some information, if you notice when they're talking to Sinbad, Sinbad is talking in past tense. So one of the detectives, they pick up Arya's prescription medication, and they say, who is this? Who is Arya? And Sinbad says, like, that was her daughter. Her daughter was sick. He's talking in past tense. Like, he knows that the daughter passed away, apparently, and he's not talking as if the daughter is still with us. Like, oh my God, right? Like, rewatching this movie was like even better than watching it the first time, okay? And I do want to say this too. The first time I watched this movie was a few days ago, the day it first dropped, right? Like, if I would have rated it that same day when I just watched it one time and I didn't have time to process it, I probably would have given it like a 6.5, right? Over 10 stars instead of the rating that I am giving it, right? But once you process this movie and once you see that, it starts to live rent free in your head, right? I'm a mom, right? So a lot of what Taraji Henson is going through, again, like I felt her, like she is my sister in arms, all right? But this movie has been on my mind for the past few days since watching it. And I think that's awesome. Like, that's a sign that a movie is really good if it's memorable, okay? All right, guys, like this video if you like this movie as much as I did. Like, I really, really enjoyed this. A very good watch. Had me in tears. Like, the tears wasn't actually coming down, but they was like right here. Like, and I was just wiping it, like not letting it come down. You know, I can't be crying over this movie, right? But very good watch. And I plan on probably watching it again sometimes too. Again, one of Tyler Perry's better work. And if I get time today, I might even do another video on this because I want to talk about more about the actual straw. Like, what was the straw that broke the camel's back, right? Like, I have a lot that I want to say about this movie. And it's hard to just get all of my thoughts out in one video, okay? So if I get time, I will be doing another video. But nonetheless, if you made it this far, make sure you subscribe to the channel and like this video too if you do like watching TV show reviews and also movie reviews. See you on the next video. Peace.